welcome to the stream. My name is Lee. Welcome on in. So, my name is Lee, and you can see the whole flag. Okay, good. So, my name is Lee, and we are doing, Ivid today. So, Ivid the Undying is, what should I say? It's a Greyhawk source book, and we do Greyhawk on Wednesdays, as everyone who watches the stream regularly knows. And those of you who might somehow be new here, which are very few of you, turns out, yeah, a lot of new people don't come in, which is a shame, but, you know, we have people trickling in. All the cool kids trickle in eventually. So, you know, that's fun. What was I going to say? Oh, yes. So, welcome on in. I'm trying to practice dropping my voice down. What was I going to say? I had a whole scheme and plan for what I was going to say about this. And I guess the best one is that it's Wednesday and we're doing Greyhawk, and we're a little ahead of when I usually end up starting, which is a little behind when we were supposed to start, and I'm going to have to end early today because I have to get on the bus. But it's an hour earlier than usual instead of 2 hours earlier than usual because of my shifting work schedule. So that's good. Um, yeah, we're still figuring out exactly how this new schedule is going to work. Um, and I'm kind of along for the ride on that one. But let's see. We're going to here. Um, um, all right. Us did not have an E on the end. Okay, so that is everyone's there. Now, let's see. So, usually, what I do, oh yes, so what I do on Wednesdays is Greyhawk, and let's see, the first thing I'm going to do is go and tell the Greyhawk people I'm streaming, and then we're going to go to, um, um, bah, I hope I don't have to, okay, let me go to the thing and tell all the people, the cool kids, alright, so I'm going to go into the Greyhawk Discord and say, hi, I'm here. Live streams, and yes, that's what I mean. Um, 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 let's see. Okay, um, 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 what was I gonna say? I am doing a, let's see. I was about to, oh, right. So, for those of you who don't know, we're doing Wednesday's Greyhawk Day. We update the wiki. On the screen right now is a PDF of Ivid the Undying that we use to get that. I'm not checking list. Is anyone in there? No, there's no one in there. Oh wow. Okay, we're gonna have an ad break. And then I'm going to get the Greyhawk wiki up, and we're going to start editing, because apparently it snuck up on me when I was trying to tell everyone else and got distracted, because that's what happens. Oh, hi, Kit! Is already here. I was just summoning you. But there's going to be a thingy, and then 1 minute, and then we'll be back, and we will do Greyhawk stuff, I think, is that. Except you don't actually get it, so. Thanks, button. Um, um, okay. Okay, welcome back, everyone. I have liquid now. Um, Watered down Gatorade in a coffee mug. You should all drink liquid too, because liquid is good. You want your blood nice and sloshy. I don't even donate plasma. I haven't been because the wait times kept getting longer because they had a couple machine breaks down in the summer. But um, yee, I guess I'm not gonna do the summoning then, because um, yeah, we've been switching around the work schedule. My work schedule, so I've been streaming at odd hours. But stream time. Okay, maybe there was something I meant to that I got to check that I meant to do needs to be remembered. Um, oh, Lancaster, which we haven't done yet. Okay, that's none out of here. All right, so Lancaster is a different section. We're gonna do today, I think. On our quest to update the wiki is go to here and get a copy, get the wiki open. Firstly, um, uh, Greyhawk Online. That's the one. Greyhawk Online, and then they double check that you're not. Yep, I passed the scrutiny test. I am not, in fact, a bot. Um, not that one. We need, yes, Greyhawk Wiki. Got the wiki going. Okay, now I show you guys. Let me just make sure that the setup is set up. Greyhawk Online, yes. Okay, library, yep, there we go. Okay, so I can then do this. Voila, and that, and just get this smaller a bit. Okay, so let me go take this, and we go to improvement bandits. Okay, yes. We're doing. Okay, going to where we were. Okay, so we were going through and going to um uh Sebastian. Okay, so we were going through the this part of Greyhawk. So for those of you who do not know, Greyhawk is a D&D setting from the 1980s, the very dawn of D&D, and it's the coalition of this kind of, hey, we're doing this kind of more story based DTRPG, or more story based wargaming, but we're like adding narrative and fun with it, and on an individual scale rather than grand battles. And it started with Castle Greyhawk and spin outward into the city of Greyhawk, and then the uh, the free city of Greyhawk, and then the land surrounding the free city of Greyhawk, and then spiral out to Flyness. There's an entire planet beyond the Flyness. It's sort of like is a chunk of continent and kind of this bridge continent almost between Auric. Well, no, it's like kind of a subcontinent off the edge of not Auric. Yeah, I think Auric, because the Iridians came from, if I recall correctly, east of no west. They came from west of the old Bacloonish territory, and filtered out into this sort of extension supercontinent. Yeah, I can show a map. And we are going in the corner case. Yeah, I'm going to show a map. I will. Oh, first thing you do when you show the map is Anna B. Meyer, who does all of this stuff. The she's a classically trained cartographer, ex Air Force pilot, just super cool, and generally, let's see. Yep, I also should put here. We've been and west east. Yep. So, uh, yeah. So yeah, Flyness is like the eastern chunk of the continent, and then there's kind of the south. You got Sundi, and then like I said, I can show you the map. So the western part of the Flyness is well, that's where Lord Gizim and Jay usually sets his stories. There's Valuna. There's um, which is a country to the west of Greyhawk, which is kind of the center. You got the Celatine River, and then at the bottom of the Celatine River on the near Div, which is an inland sea kind of, you get Hardby, but the Celatine goes all the way up to Greyhawk, which is a big trading hub, and Hardby is now technically under the control of the Free City of Greyhawk. They were independent from that completely for a while, because they used to marry, like, have this kind of intermarriage system set up, and then Hardby was completely independent, and then after the Greyhawk Wars, there's a lot of history to the setting, essentially, that I'm glossing over, but, okay, yes, maps. I think we want this one because you can still get the easy zoom. The hosting site, for easy zooms, did that work? No, it didn't. Alright, well, hang on. Alright, well, I guess we're gonna have to do this. Problem is, alright, getting it up. So the maps are, okay, so, the problem with the map is that she's drawn all these detailed maps, but the thing with this atlas, as you can see, is that it's really, a good way to have a map printed, for detail, but it's not good for overviews. And the EasyZoom was really good for overviews and for streams because I could show it off, and I am a patron of hers because she does really good work. And so, because I use the map on stream all the time, and she put it up there, Creative Commons, so I could use it. And, yeah, oh, right, hang on. That's the Flyness. Yes, sorry, that is the Atlas of the Flyness. We'll show you. There used to be a really good, the Easy Zoom hosting fell apart, so this is the best. Oh, maybe not. Yes, let's see. Oh, yes, we can get it. Okay. Yay. Alright, you should be able to see this. So this is the map as done by Enemy Myra. I don't think it's officially canon, but it's a really good one. So there's the Great Kingdom. That's the very eastern part. You got the Solar Ocean. You got Fundy all the way to the... And then you got here, and you got this. This is the connection point to the rest of the continent. And then this is where the territory of Little North is the territory of the Sulois. But they got kind of twin cataclysmed off the map because of an ancient fight which came to the point of magical nukes, and that was with the Bacloonish people, and this is kind of what's left of the old Bacloonish Empire. It broke into city-states and smaller pieces, and there are still Sulois people, they just are refugees who went east. So you got this, especially to, where is it? This little bit here, the peninsula here, um, the peninsula down here. You got virtually all. So you got a lot of stuff. Pomarge is interesting one. It was entirely held by, I believe it was the Principality of Ulek. Originally held the entire Pomarge until it was taken over. Which anyway, and then you got the Selene, Lord Gazumba, who is another creator. Hi, Elkantar, welcome. I'm just doing an overview of Greyhawk because I could. So you got actually because people were talking about that, I could film a 60-second history of the Flyness. Maybe it would take longer than that, but maybe I could intro to the Flyness. But what's I gonna say? Oh, yes. So that's that, and then we got Ferndy up here, and Greyhawk, which is where the this is Free City of Greyhawk is here. Castle Greyhawk's up here. I don't know if you can see my cursor, but and then you got, but we were working over here. So over the course of my stream, and we're gonna fall behind in time wise now. We have gone all the way over everything from Bone March, this kind of all more east is the Great Kingdom, which did in excellence. You can kind of see where I'm pointing. The Great Kingdom. So in the Great Kingdom in 10 as of 1085 no 585 CY common year. That's kind of the base common year is kind of the calendar system. Greyhawk is its own calendar too with all that, but yeah, 585 583ish, where there was a series of wars between the Great Kingdom, different combatants fought, and Greyhawk Wars, and then 585 shortly after that, 585 about 586, Roxas, the capital of the Great Kingdom, got enclosed in a dome, weirdly, some sort of weird magical thing, after Ivid, who'd been on the throne for a very long time because he was undead and animist. I think he died before that happened, because there was word that came out that he was no longer the Overking, whether that meant he died or had been deposed in a coup or something. And then the dome over Roxas, and no one could get in or out, except sometimes horrible monsters. So it kind of sealed it off, and the kingdom shattered, and all of the people who had been behind the scenes during the right after the Greyhawk Wars, everyone had it was a lot of political turmoil, and everyone was plotting, and the North Kingdom had officially seceded, but like it was still disputed in that it probably didn't recognize it. But they put out the Herzog of what was North Province had officially seceded, and then there was a lot of people who were trying to mess with him. And I'd be more interested in any sources about what happened after the Great King, because there were several people trying to overthrow the Herzog in North Kingdom. So it'd be interesting. But so yes, the North Kingdom is this North Province. This before, because this map is from 576, before the Greyhawk Wars. Because there's several historical timelines, and there are source books from 576, which is, I think, why it's listed as at least. I remember we had this debate about why you picked saying since at least 576, when there's a lot of heavily implied that it had gone well before that, but that's because the source book was set in 576. The first official source book that mentioned it was then. And I remember this. Okay, so that's Comport Bay. Essentially, I've been going through, and you notice how this province, and they have principalities. That's because Greyhawk, the Great Kingdom specifically, Greyhawk, has a lot of people who use the title Prince, who under most, under conventions of European titling would not have taken the title Prince. Like it's closer to like Duke. The amount of land they hold, and the way they're lieged and stuff, like under most even historical, that these guys would not take the title Prince, but they all take the title Prince in the Great Kingdom for various reasons. So you see Prince, and you're like, they might have a couple of county, like they don't have much. It's you're looking at a smattering of land underneath another prince. Like, okay, and under the Herzog, who's under the king, and it's like, okay, Prince is um, a very different title than it is in there. But there's a tier. We were going through. That's Maloru, and I thought we were up here, East Fair, tier, Kaport, and Belport, and this part of the map. So now we have geography, and I gotten well out of hand and gotten very distracted, which happens a lot in my streams. Still good timing. Okay, so now, Great Library of Greyhawk. I show you this PDF, which is Ivid the Undying, which is a source book that came out right as TSR was being bought out by Wizards of the Coast. So getting it, it had been written while TSR was still TSR and they were releasing lore. It had been written and it was going to be released, but the company got bought out and shut down. And in that shuffle, Wizards of the Coast was kind of about releasing it. They were, but people, fans who had heard it was coming out, kind of asked them to, and there was a little bit of negotiation, and now it's available free as a PDF, but never got a print copy. But it's still considered canon to the Greyhawk, and it has a ton of information about the Great Kingdom. It's as of 585, so right when all this falling apart, right before Roxas, right before it collapsed, and all of the machinations behind the scenes of the different political groups. Like, they talk about the Garisteth nobles and Zavener as, a Garisteth noble who is kind of trying to gain power in the family, and for that, and he ultimately does become the Overking of Alyssa, which, if you look, we can't do comparative maps because the easy zoom for the 598 isn't working, but essentially Alyssa is, if I show you the map, let's look at, mounting this one, this one, this one. Yep, map is, Loru, where is, Alyssa's kind of down here, because they're, North Kingdom North Province just broke off, and then Alyssa is Yelpa, Devon, because Real Devon, it does include that, I think, no, not Almor, it's more south than that. Yeah, Alysan Plains is South Province, and which is where Zavener is from, and so they have a lot of this land, Kalstrand, and I believe all the way north. Almor kind of did not do so well in the war, and I believe kind of fell apart and then was restructured again, but yeah, so they have right, so the Kingdom of Melissa, and then you got North Province, which is up here, or North Kingdom now, and then you have the city-states along the coast are independent. They have not with nothing Rinloru, but Roland, Unsi, and Rel Astra have are independent city-states. They control a lot to the direct west of the cities themselves. They have more territories. So that is our setup. Okay, so but we were focusing on the section of the book about the North Province, and we are going through at the end here. We're gonna have to do right. We were going through that section, which I will swap it out so you can. Oh, I wasn't even showing you them. I wasn't even showing. Yeah, I know I was showing the map. Okay, this one. So this is the book, David the Undying. Okay, so there's and we've been going through. We do have to go back to do East Fair properly, but we've gone through and put pages for all the cities. Great Library of Greyhawk is simply a resource that lists all of the stuff. Oh, Leicester. We didn't Twin Cities. Okay, that's the North Province, and then Twin Cities is province. The Twin Cities. Okay, we have to go. That's probably next. So, but what we've been going through is going through each of these and putting, making. So we had Sasquand. Let's see. Yeah, but we've been going through and we did Chalister. All right. Shirlene. So we got Chellister. I'm just gonna double check that we. Yes, I have a mug of water. Hydrate or die straight, as they say, or hydrate or dihydrate, depending on which variant. And mostly the composition of people you hang out with. Let's see. So we did Chellister. Did we get all of him? That's the question. Let's see. So no, no, this one. Okay. This is the Baron General. Um, he calls himself Baron General. He technically could call himself a prince, but you know, um, um, I also have the tail end of a cold, so um, mm, ah, okay. So there's that. Ah. All right. So, um, I'm gonna have to at some point, but so there's that, and now we put this down so we can see his page. And is there anything in his page we wanted to add? Possession, relationship, history. He swapped lands with another Torcan noble, so we got the land near the Highlander castles. So he has his hatred of orcs, which puts him at odds with what was I gonna say? The Herzog, Grenell, Grace Grenell. He's technically a prince, but he uses Grace as a sort of a form of address. So that's how he's usually referred to, although he technically is a prince. Like I said, it's the technicalities with who counts as a prince. Um, and but Chellister, Baron General Chellister, would have counted as a prince, except he eschews the title because he doesn't. He likes to have a good rapport with his men, and he finds it makes it more difficult. Um, yes, he doesn't. Not particular villages, Blue Hills. He's very wealthy, and he has all these magic items and relationship with. Yeah, we need to do Leicester as our next. Uh, okay. Um, yes, and but yes, that is. Oh, we have to do bibliography. Hang on. One last thing before we do. So let's see. We got. Uh huh. So cancel. Um, um, Highlanders, and it should. Um, that's the one. It does go through the. Okay, good. Edit source, and we go to here, and we go to bibliography, and we can put our source in here. Ta-da! And then we hit edit source, just so we know. Um, and are there any category characters of? Oh, Kit might have done those. I probably did some of them. Kit probably did more of them. It's just so that you can go in the back end and click through and find like a list of everyone from the Great Province and or the Great Kingdom and stuff like that. I think it's kind of cool. So, but the way that works is by putting the as code in the bottom of like here. It shows up here essentially. Oh, apparently North Province doesn't have a page yet. All right, good to know. Okay, right. So our next goal is then to go back to our source. Okay, it's 212. I'm just trying to keep an eye on that because I have to be at work. So then we go here. What's our next guy? So Shell Earn. She Learn. Okay. Double check the spelling because I planned on for some reason like that. Um uh we'll just make sure. Apparently he has no anything. A ninth level. That's pretty good. Ninth level thief. Let's see, what's his he is a thief. Ooh, he's good looking, apparently. Let's see. No, not that's the planning assassinations. 20 years old with straight blonde hair cut to the base of his neck, blue eyes, and a figure that men have dueled as well as drooled over. He's she Learn. Okay, and it didn't specify anyone. Uh, yes, her neck. Okay, and that would okay, girl. Okay, 5'2", petite 5'2". That's why. I mean, I would. There are men who drool over masculine figures, but makes a little more sense when you go five. I was like 5'2", and I'm like, yes, she. Okay, she plays the role of slightly dumb blonde, good time girl to the full. But most Chinese here know her better. Okay, so she's playing the ditz, but is actually a little smarter than that. Um, it's mostly adopted these days to dupe outsiders. All right, so she plays the ditz to mess with people. Okay. Might rob them, cut their throats, loot their tavern room, or just enjoy the company of a charismatic male for a night on the town, so long as he does all the paying. There you go. Actually, rather bored with city life. East Fair. Okay, so she's a thief living in East Fair, playing the ditz to not mess with people and do men. Sure. Rather bored with city life, and it knows her too well. She can't use her ring of telekinesis at game house tables now, and everyone knows about it. She used a ring of telekinesis to cheat at cards, and that does not work anymore. Nobles she used to blackmail have grown too jaded and evil to care about exposure any longer, so that source of revenue is drying up. Is looking for adventure and makes good companion. Oh, this is the end section. So part of the that we're not putting in the wiki that's included in these is kind of DM notes, like, oh hey, if you want to run your campaign, this is what you can do with this character. Like Shallister's, like if your party has magic items, he is looking for them, or he can send them on quests to go find obscure magic items because he wants that. And so or Morkin will probably looking for components if they if you want to send your party off on like a Minute quest, go have them kill a magical monster for Morkind, and then they can get whatever magic item they want. Kind of stuff like that. Um, GM notes to if you're running your game here. We generally don't put them in the wiki because the idea behind a wiki is just as a reference document, but there's a kind of thing of we want to. It's because it is kind of Creative Commons, and there's this tension of Wizard of the Coast selling all the source books. The idea is that it's doesn't fully replace the source books, but can be used as quick reference and for the lore. So it's kind of a, and with that tension, I usually definitely leave out the DM tips. And what was I gonna say? Yeah, so I usually leave those out anyway. And a lot of the mechanical stuff too, depending on exactly what it is, because uh, well, a lot of stuff. Let's see. Um, Anyway, side note. Group with a good, smart wizard she would expect among their number. Preferably can protect her with invisibility, etc. Would find her useful addition. So if you have a wizard in your group, she will go adventuring with you. She's a short sword +4, dagger of venom, together with the magical thieves tools, which add +10 to her chance of opening locks and finding mechanical traps. Even if the group didn't wish to take her beyond East Fair, her knowledge of the city and its powerful people would be worth paying for. Good to know. But like that 10% thing, I'd probably, if I, which I'm going to, when I put the possession section, I would just say she has magical thieves tools that help her do better at picking locks, and I wouldn't mention the exact percentage. The +4s I usually do because that's part of the name of the magic item, but for something like the thieves tools, for example, it makes lock picking easier, which is kind of cool that she has magical thieves tools. But okay, so we're not gonna have much of a page on her, but let's see what we can do with that. Let's see. We could just hit create, but I think what we want to do, because what and it's helpful to do, is if you go to new article templates, ready? And my plan was to release a video on how to help edit the wiki. Because they're trying to recruit editors, and a basic how-to guide of like, if you notice something on the wiki, you can fix it. You can help us improve it. Because it's a community resource. Like I started out just doing deep dives into the wiki, and then I think I noticed a few grammatical flaws, and then noticed, hey, if you look on the Parmarsh page, it says the Principality of Ulik used to run it, and they don't say that on the Principality of Ulik page. So I did cross-referencing. I did a lot of stuff like that. And then I was complaining on
Discord forum, hey, there's no information on rolling Lindsay. It's like, oh yeah, there's whole sections of them in Ivy at the Undying. And I'm like, oh. And then, oh, you can go get the PDF. Oh. And then I realized, wait, there's this entire thing and it's not on the wiki. And then now I'm putting stuff from the book onto the wiki, like Shirlene, um, or Shirlene. I gotta say her name right. Okay, so Shirlene. So, oh, right. So now that I've been editing the wiki for a while, I'm learning, and Kit's been helping, who is in the chat, by the way, and she runs the entire freaking wiki and does a lot of the behind the scenes stuff and hosting to and does so much behind the scenes to organize and categorize and just do all this stuff, which is helpful, and just is really cool. Oh, also, if you want to actually go to the wiki, Greyhawk Online itself, also, if you just take the wiki part off the end, is a good resource in and of itself, just for Greyhawk stuff. And the Earth Journal, which, yes, right, that was, and you even, as a kind of a personal plug as a streamer, hi. If you go down to the vibe points, the very bottom bits, I like bits, but don't worry about that. If you want to throw some at me, but don't feel obligated. But if you go down to vibe points and click it, you can, if you go down to the bottom, there's all sorts of fun stuff you can do with them. And one of them is, if you have a gajillion vibe points and you hang out all the time, you can, or the same number of bits, or like 1,000 bits, I will say. Basically, you can do. Um, all right, there we go. You can do is, you can donate, give me 10,000 vibe points back, because the channel points let you do cool stuff, and then I will do a Saturday video. Some Saturday I will do a video of choice, and Sig has, who doesn't come on a lot because he had trouble with his Twitch account, but he redeemed most of those, and 90% of it is, hey, let's do K-pop reaction videos, or Warhammer Fantasy lore, and basically we've done a bunch of that because, Sig requested it and wanted that, and I said sure. So if you watch the stream a lot and you want to see something covered, any topic, I think I have right of refusal, but like if it's really awkward or or against Twitch's TOS or something, but any whatever fandom, even if I've never heard of it, I'll go and poke at it and you know do a walkthrough of, hey, this is a cool thing. You should check it out. I do a lot of that on Tuesdays and Thursdays, just random TTRPG stuff that I have accrued over the years, which is a lot. Actually, if we're doing self plug, I'll go. I promise I will edit the wiki, but half a minute. I get distracted very easily. If you want to go to the Discord, I have a section on Greyhawk, but also um, memes, and I put all the writing challenges, which no one uses, but I thought they were kind of cool. Writing prompts we have, and just random discussions and fun people, and sometimes if we go crazy off topic on a Tuesday or Thursday stream, this stuff ends up there. It's a fun little place to be. If you want to come hang out with me and off stream and ask questions and just vibe, and also get a ping every time I'm going live. Uh, and see all of the random side topics that we got into because it happened on the stream. We have those archived essentially, as like errata to the episodes, which are all up on YouTube if you want. They are very, very poorly organized, and a lot of them haven't been made public yet. But if you go through, you can find all sorts of stuff. Um, uh, um, yeah. So, uh, but and then but the links to stuff seen on stream is for all of the stuff I mentioned. Anything I mentioned on the stream, I put up a link to on the links to things seen on links to stuff seen on the stream section, um, and which includes a lot of stuff like the city of Mole in Sweden, because there was a Vasin module we looked at that was linked, that was there, and I was like, hang on, is that an actual place? And yes, it is actually a place in Sweden. So there's a link to the Wikipedia page for that. Anyway, you're getting back to Greyhawk. Um, Self promo section over. Back to Greyhawk. But so Greyhawk Wiki, yes. Um, so come here, new character. I'm pointing at this, so you can see me point. So you go template, new character, and then you go to the character's name. No titles. It's just the name, and then you put the titles in later. What I was gonna say. Her name is. She didn't have a title anyway. She Learn. Val Andar. So she. I've learned this the hard way. If you want to, what happened with Grossengrottel, which is a town just to the north of Greyhawk City, of the free city of Greyhawk. It had two different spellings, and I was using one of them to try and scrounge all the information I could, and then kept finding it spelled wrong, so I kept correcting it, and I was like, hang on, use the common way it was misspelled, and found, oh, there was already an article on it, and also and then I went back and changed all the spellings again, and I think we had a set up a redirect from the misspelling. I think it was mislabeled on, I think it was one of Anna's maps, and um, but anyway, the point being, we put that through Valender. So now I'm very careful, except with Plandarn, apparently. I was not, but Kit fixed that for me because she can go behind the scenes and do stuff and is really cool. Okay, sorry. We are Val and Der. And Der. Okay. She learn Valander. Okay. Voila! Okay, so now we have this, and it's not up there yet. So we go name. So fill in as many of the images if you can find pictures of put images in. For a lot of when I was doing a lot of geographical things, I would screenshot Anna's map for that, or the Darlene map, or not the Darlene, the Matt Mathewson, Kent Matthew. So I think it was Kent Mathewson who did the maps for the Ava the Undying. We take screenshots of that, except he doesn't label that map. Doesn't have any like the forest or the rivers labeled. So what I would do is go onto the Anna's map and then like cross reference the map because Anna labels all the rivers. Other maps do too. It's just like cross referencing that. I keep asking her, forgetting to ask about the roads that she tweaked it on her map that and it doesn't match the other map, and I kept meaning to ask her about it. Kate Mathewson, yeah, Matheson, yes, and I kept meaning to ask Anna why she made that choice, and then every time I see her, which I do, she goes to conventions and stuff, and is if you ever go to GaryCon, seek her out, she's cool. I keep meaning to ask her that one specific question. I keep forgetting the question I was going to ask her, and every time I'm like, oh, that's what I was going to ask Anna, and then I forget again. But well worth talking to. She's like the amount of detail she's putting into the new maps is insane. She's doing like 1 pixel per 500 square feet maps, which if you look at that is an insane amount of detail for a map, and she's able to just, I mean the skill and the tech, it's impressive. Sorry, I'm babbling about Anna again, but she does these maps and they're so cool, and she's also just a cool person in general. She goes on Lord Zimba's channel a lot to talk about mapping and Greyhawk, and they do some fun times, and it's always fun to pop up. The problem is they go in the evening when I'm at work, but that's the problem with doing work in the evening, and I have to keep an eye on time. Okay, so what else we got? Let's see. What other stuff can we put in this one? And is it showing up? Yes. Okay, good. Okay, so Shirlene, Val, Der, aliases, title, none, occupation, thief, uh, uh, mm, uh, thief is a little, home is East Fair, and, oh, we should put right, yes, she's in East Fair, um, let's see, um, East Fair knows too well, um, she has magical items, but that comes later. Um, if we don't finish now, we can go back and do more. Very much. Let's see. Um, uh, I'm gonna put petty criminal because she doesn't do just theft, but also blackmail and cheating and gambling and other petty criminal. East Fair alignment is, does it say? Specify. Uh, neutral, neutral evil leaning. Okay. Um, neutral. True neutral. Uh, gender female. This she her race. It says I think human until the default here is human unless otherwise specified. Human ethnicity doesn't specify. Blonde hair would suggest Suloids, but it doesn't specify too much, so we're not going to stick that in. Um. Yes. Whoa. 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 Okay. Sorry. That not something I wanted to do. Okay. So, see what else we got. So female, East Fair, human, class 9. Level thief doesn't mention any deities, language, age 28 as of, because people do age. Um, so and if I see these brackets here, that means it links. So 585, if I put the year in brackets, will go to the Greyhawk timeline into the 585 section. You click on it, you're like, oh, what else was happening in Greyhawk in 585? And then it'll kind of have a list, and you can like kind of put the historical context. If I put, I should probably do this for East Fair as well. East Fair here, then you, which I did, you can click and go to the article on East Fair and talk about where this city is, and then there'll be further links to it's in the Great Kingdom, and then you click the Great Kingdom, and so you can click through and find subsequent information and cross reference and stuff. Email from Rome languages, and that's okay. So this is just notes from our illustrious kit on how to do. Okay, so is a um, uh, petty criminal. Uh, uh, um, uh, um, let's see. In East Fair, um, uh, who was well known in East Fair. East Fair, um, um, uh, caused trouble. Um, um, I think I try to make this. It's always tricky to make this long enough worth. And also, see here you do a site source book. So you can do ready ivid is because the it's indexed because of all the cool behind the scenes stuff we have. It's basically indexed such that if I put ivid, it has a ivid the Undying. There's a like a whole citation system that will specify that yes, this specific information was coming from this particular book and this particular page on this book 60. Okay. I think she is such that I don't think there's going to be more information on her in the East Fair section, although given we're going to go back and do a more detailed dive on that, we might find some and then we can go back. So description. Appearance. Because we're not going to use it. See, not everyone gets these things, so you just kind of take out sections. Home is more like here. Home is the East Fair, yeah, but home on here is more like if she had a manor house that was particularly well known, or something kind of a more detailed, like a layer that she kept, but from what I gather, she doesn't really, or at least there's no mention of it here. So we're gonna leave that section out, and then if there is another source book somewhere that like has a map of her hideout, they can put it back in the section back into whoever was editing the wiki and had that source book. But I don't know if such one exists, so we're just gonna take it out for now. There are certain ones in the bottom that I like to leave in because I feel like anyway. Let's see. Um, let's see. Is 5 foot 2 inches, and uh, a 5 foot 2 inches with uh, let's see, petite blonde. Let's see, blue eyes. Uh, with a dual as well as true lovers. There's no specific like slim or hourglass or specifics, which is fine. You know, she's just hot. It doesn't matter necessarily the exactitude. Um, I mean, it would be interesting to know as a, but blue, okay, blonde hair. Um, 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 practically figured one. Yep. Okay. There we go. And now we put our citation in. Source book. And oh, I think. Hang on a sec. I think we still have it. Let me see something. We do. Beautiful. I mean, already saved trouble with that later. Okay, cool. Personality. Um, let's take this section out because I don't think she has anyone. I'm doing this kid style, and I usually what I do is, uh, yeah, taking all this out. Um, is I usually just do that and then save it and um, um, with that. Voila. Yes. Then we can do more. Yes. Actually, uh, uh, or con them, kill them, or con them, kill them. Um, 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 yes. Uh, Sharp mind, so she's smart. And cunning is a smart mind, so she is smart. She's just well, actually, they have stats for her. Specify 18. Thing is, they don't actually give you all the stats for they have specific stats, but then will only give you half of them. Whatever you never. But int is 60. Yeah, she is actually pretty smart. Int is 16. Let's see. Um, uh, con them, rob them, or get them to play. Uh, um, uh, let's see. Con them, rob them, or at least. Yeah. So she's bored. She's bright and also bored. Okay. Um. Yeep. Okay. Then we also do our David. Sorry, I'm being very careful of time because I have to head out to. There we go. You can do this. Um, that's how I tend to do it. Is get this and then go back and do these. Let's do this. Possessions. Uh, um, uh, let's see. She had a ring of telekinesis. Possessions. Telekinesis. Yeah, I know, but it still is annoying to like. Oh, okay, so it's like 10 or 11, but like, I mean, I feel like if you're gonna start listing, you might as well list them all. You know. Just um, let's see. Um, let's see. Oh, I might. I mean, I have to go back and change that one to. But yes. Okay. So, she has leather armor +3, some basic leather armor +3, ring of telekinesis, um, telekin. Sorry, telekinesis is Esis. No, I say ESIS. Okay, ESIS. No, you go away. ES. Ring of telekinesis. Um, um, The other has an H in it. Yeah. Okay, let's establishments figured it out. The winged health and easiest used to use a cheat. Um, um, do do do. Plus force. A. Oh, this two apostrophes thing. Um. Uh. Uh. Yep. Let's see. Uh, I think that's a pretty good description of all the magic ones. Don't forget that, and I think that's it. I think we're good. Um, I probably oh right, and I was going to go back and um uh um uh um 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 yes, yeah. She has a penchant for causing trouble. Um, because yeah, people know she's trouble, so they're not like, oh, pretty girl, and then they start talking to her and distracted for the fact she's trying to pick their pocket because she's you. They're like, nope, no, you're gonna screw me over. I'm not, because they recognize her, even though she's pretty, which you know. All right, let's see. I think that um what's victims? Um, um, yes, I think that's good for now. Um, mhm. Okay, there's gonna be an ad in a little bit. All right, I think what we're gonna do, I'm gonna finish this. Um, yeah, I think that's fine. Beautiful. Okay, so now we have that appearance, personality, possessions. Okay, so we got that, and we took out most of the unnecessary sections. Voila! I think we did it. I think we done well. Yee. Okay, so we got our page going for her, and she's not, it's not much on her. So, um, ad's gonna start. I'm gonna take a quick stretch break, then I'll come back and talk for a little bit, and then we'll raid into somebody. because that seems to be the play. I think that times it out pretty well. Yes, okay. Give me 30 seconds to. Swapping clothes around to work clothes. I leave. I usually have an hour. An hour to work. I have an hour. Like an hour. When I finish the stream yes. You. Okay. Well, yeah, usually I have a roughly an hour between when I get back and when I finish the stream and when I have to leave for work. But now it's like 10 minutes, if that. So thank you all for coming. You guys are awesome. And let's. Oh, thank you for the bits. I appreciate it. Let me go and. Oh, wow. Hang on. That's a lot of bits. I do really appreciate it. Let me see if we can find someone to raid. I really appreciate the bits. Thank you. Thank you. Ace Trainer Liam. No, we're reading Tiger Rights. I mean, I could, I guess. Oh, Stretch. I haven't rated Stretch in a while. He's playing Scrap Mechanic. He has even has a little cosplay. Okay, let's go raid Stretch. He's a friend from GOT and is generally cosplay stream. Yeah, it's fun. Let's go raid Stretch. Go say hi, at least. And go say hi to Stretch, and then I will be off to work. And thank you all, and take care of yourselves. Okay, rest, hydrate, all that jazz. Boom. All right, let's do it.